Melody here, and I hope everyone is having an amazing day today. What I'm going to be talking about today is my experience getting my full M license. It's so crazy now that I have spent, 3 years. I got my M1, I got my M2, both in the same year in 2018, and I also now have my M this year in 2021. I know a lot of you have experienced the same thing, that with COVID, it was like your plans are just changed last minute. And I just wanted to remind everyone that, if you booked like an M1 or M2 test or a full M, hang in there. I had my original test booked for May, and then it got canceled because of COVID, because of the other lockdown that happened here in Toronto, and then it got rescheduled to July 3rd. So that's when I got it. And so I'm just going to be talking about my experience. And I went with Motorsoul to get my full M. So I do have the tank top. It was a little gift from Ginny, which shout out to Ginny. She's absolutely amazing. She's the owner of Motorsoul Riding School here in Toronto. She's such a great person. Like, anyone can learn so much about motorcycles from her and riding in general. And I just wanted to tell you about my experience getting my full M, specifically with Motorsoul, since I did the M with them. And I also did my M2, if you guys remember, as well. And I just want to remind everyone, I'm not being paid by Motorsoul in any way to talk about this. I just, what I've done with my YouTube channel ever since the beginning is just like, I'm here to tell you about my own personal experience, how I got to this point in my life where I have my full M. So here's a couple things, a couple takeaways from having my full M. So with getting your full M, you don't have to do it with Motorsoul or riding school. You can do it with the Ministry of Transportation, with the Service Ontario. You can book to do it with them. Now, the reason I chose Motorsoul was because I just wanted some added security when it came to getting my licenses, some added guidance and help, which is exactly what I got. So, and especially, when I talk about getting my M2, it was the exact same thing. So because I had the experience of going with Motorsoul for my M2, I got to know some of the instructors, and I realized how great the riding school is. So that I knew in the future, I was like, when it comes down to get my full M, I'm going with Motorsoul again. So again, so happy with my decision. And yeah, so you don't have to do it with Motorsoul. You can do it with Service Ontario, or there are other riding schools in Toronto. I just can't remember what the other ones are. I just hear them. I think Humber has one. There's a couple out there. So my specific experience with Motorsoul, what I found is that, so it is 2 days. So when you do your M2 with Motorsoul, it's 3 days. It's a night course, and it's usually in person, but because of COVID, they're doing it through Zoom. So it's a night course, usually on a Thursday night, and you're just learning the basics of riding, kind of like the theoretical of motorcycles and riding in general. And then for the full M, we had to do there was an in-class portion, and it was on the Wednesday night. So it was and it was evening as well. So it was the full, it was Wednesday night, and again, more theory and just kind of like back to the basics, because that's the thing about doing your full M, is that the Ministry of Transportation, they want to see now, like, it's okay, you have your M1, M2, can you still ride, and can you ride properly? So the theory is great, and then for day 2 for the full M, you will meet with the instructor. It was 8 a.m., bright and early. It was in Mississauga, and I really like how they chose Mississauga, just because there's just a lot more space. I ride in Toronto every day, pretty much. So when it comes to riding in Toronto, you are like back-to-back traffic a lot of times, not always. But so I like that they did in Mississauga, just because there was more space to practice and just with the instructors to make sure that you're doing things properly. So basically, yeah, so on the, this was a Saturday morning. I started at 8 a.m. to meet the instructor, and it was just with was just with a few other students. So there was about 4 of us all together and 1 instructor, which again is great because then they just have the ability to really focus on our riding so that we can pass the M test, which happens at the end of the day. So it started at 8 a.m. and then afterwards, what you're going to be doing is with the instructor, he's going to tell you to do turns in a correct way and always tell you to be checking your blind spots, your mirrors, because again, that's what the Ministry of Transportation wants to see for riding a motorcycle and for a driver's license, right? Exact same. So you really just want to just exaggerate looking at your mirrors, checking your blind spots on the right side and the left. You're also going to want to make sure that you have enough space between you and someone in front of you. Because I ride in Toronto, I actually don't give a lot of space because people cut you off so often. So I realized that about myself. I was like, damn, like I do need to give myself more space just in case like another car like rollbacks or in case I need more space to pass a car. Couple other takeaways is riding on the right track, so the right tire track, that's the word. So they want to see that when you're in the right lane that you're riding on the left tire track. I find this a bit weird just because like I think that everyone has a different riding style, but just keep that in mind is when you're doing your M that they want to see you riding on the right tire track, and they will explain this even more in depth. And I'm pretty sure it's with so if you do it through Service Ontario, they want to see the same. But I know for the M course with Motorsoul, they do want to see that you are riding on the right tire track for different scenarios, for either turning at an intersection, if there's 2 lanes, if there's just 1 lane, etc. Oh yeah, and that's my baby behind me, of course. That's my Yamaha R3. This is my 3rd year riding it, and I still absolutely love it. But of course, dying to upgrade to either an R6 or R7 now, or R1. Why not, right? So yeah, going back to the full M, if there's anything else that I can mention, bring snacks for the day. Oh yeah, and then at the very end for the test, the great thing I liked about doing it with Motorsoul again was that you have hours that the instructor will work with you to make sure you're perfecting all these techniques. Because at the end of the day, each person will do the full M test 1 by 1. So it's just you and the instructor. When you arrive, the instructor will be on a motorcycle, so at 8 a.m. When you do the full M test, the instructor is in a car behind you, and you have a headset and he has a headset. He has someone driving. So I hope I'm explaining this right. He's in a car, he's testing you with a headset on, and he has someone driving the car. And then you as a rider, you have a headset on, and he is giving you instructions while you ride around. He's gonna say, when it's safe to do so, turn left. Oh, this fly. When it's safe to do so, turn right. When it's safe to do so, go onto the highway, because that's another huge difference with the M2, is that when you do your M2, you're not on the roads, you're not on the highway, you're just in a parking lot if you're doing it with Motorsoul. And then if you do it with Motorsoul for your full M, you are actually riding on the streets, you're actually riding on the highway with the instructor practicing first, and then also for the full M. So that is the full experience. And then common questions that I get about getting the full M are, do you need to bring your own motorcycle? The answer is yes. And for Motorsoul for sure, for Service Ontario for sure, I'm almost 99% sure for any riding school. Just feel free to ask any other ones. And for insurance, this is also a good reason to do with a riding school. I called my insurance just to let them know that I now have my full M. And what they told me is that it's actually going to go down within a year. So that kind of sucks that it's not like right away, but that's my personal experience with it. I can wait a year, and then I'll see what my insurance looks like next year, because it'll go down regardless, as long as, of course, my riding is still good. And then with doing the M course, it should go down even lower. So Another thing I want to mention is that after you do the full M test with Motorsoul, they will give you the answer on the day. So they're going to tell you if you pass the M test, and they're going to tell you like right after you do it. It was awesome because like just hearing those words, like you passed, I was like, ooh, I was so happy. And then what you have to do next is they're going to input it into the system like on Monday, because when I did it was a Saturday. They're going to input on the system on the Monday. And then what I did was I went to Service Ontario on Tuesday morning. I was so mad though because I got turned away because of COVID. I didn't have an appointment booked. So what I can recommend is just make sure that you, for any Service Ontario, if you're looking to upgrade your license right now because of COVID 2021, make sure that you might need an appointment. You might need an appointment to book in advance. If not, then that's really lucky. But I showed up. They told me I need an appointment. I was like, okay. I went back a couple days later after I had booked the appointment, and everything was fine. Like I went in, upgraded my license from an M2 to full M. I have my temporary one because now I'm just waiting in the mail to get my card updated with my full M. So yeah, so that's my experience getting my full M license. If you guys have any questions about Motorsoul, again, I'm not being paid by them in any way. I just am telling you about my experience and how I went from my M1, M2, and to full M now. And I did choose Motorsoul with my M2 and full M because I found so much value in the instructors and how they treated me. I got my money's worth, basically, is the best way I can put it. So again, shout out to Ginny of Motorsoul. You're amazing. And yeah, for anyone that has questions, feel free to comment below. I do answer as many questions as I possibly can. Oh God, that's fine. And feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagram is added on the banner of my channel, but also my Instagram is melodycampos.r3. Yeah, and I have a few motorcycle pictures there. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. I hope everyone is staying safe because of COVID, of course. Here in Toronto, it looks like things are starting to get better, but we'll see. And for anyone new to my channel, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm so happy. And I just look forward to putting out more content that I believe that any new riders to Toronto or any of my existing subscribers, which thank you so much for the support, will enjoy. Have a great day, everyone.